same passion.
Oh, would you believe it? A virtuoso strike from Dejan Kulusevski.
Same energy.
Here's Lucas Moura. Oh, they did it! I cannot believe it!
Same love.
I want to win. I want to win the trophy, to bring success to the team, especially when you are captain and win the trophy.
Same team.
It's just who we are, mate. It's just who we are. It's who we're going to be till as long as I'm here.
Same Old Spurs.
The Same Old Spurs podcast with Majestic and Gazza.
Get behind the boys and up the Spurs.
Good evening from the SOS HQ with me, Majestic, alongside
Gazza.
and sorry to keep you waiting. We were doing hair, makeup, waxing.
A lot of hair jokes in the comments, isn't there?
Do you know what?
It's not our fault we're follically challenged.
And
Come on.
You know what's really upset me is I've heard Ben Tankor said we look the same.
Really?
He said we're two bald geezers, we look exactly the same. You can't tell us apart. Give him a 7-match ban. I don't know. Gazza was busy because he was running home to get the coasters. Where's the coasters, Gaz?
I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to have to reveal it early, mate. I've forgotten. I cannot believe it. I had one job. You know what I mean? I've even... The person that sent me the coasters, Spence, a lovely guy, I've even told him, Spence, don't worry, the coasters will be out on the table for the next pod.
We've got no duck.
I failed, mate.
No
I failed.
coasters.
We've lost the duck. The duck ain't been... That's your fault, the duck. So, you know what I mean? I'll take the ownership of the coasters. I'll tell you one thing.
Mate.
We're late. We ain't got the coasters. The duck's gone for a missing.
It's all Spursy.
Yeah.
It's all very Spursy.
Very much fits the show, doesn't it?
Hello, and if you're watching on YouTube, good evening, guys and girls in the chat room. They're giving Gaz 2 weeks' wages already.
Nightmare.
Yeah. Welcome to the Same Spurs podcast with Imagine Gaz. It's been international duties, so we'll have a little reflect what's going on with the lads over international duties, as I made a jest of during the opening. Ben Tankor's got a 7-match ban.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy, isn't it?
What's happening to Enzo at Chelsea?
I know. Forgot about that one, didn't
That's a problem,
Selected
isn't it?
memories. So what we're going to do today, we're going to have a special podcast, ladies and gentlemen, that we're going to be picking our all-time Premier League. Remember, Premier League. Yeah?
It's important.
Because I don't want to be like, get Dave Mackay on there. Get Terry Fenwick on there. Yeah? What about Ricky Vania? Yeah?
Ozzy.
What about Pat Jennings?
They done a trick.
What about Cliffy?
Oh, mate, you could go on and on, couldn't you?
Yeah, there's some great players. But yeah, we are going to be doing our Imagine Gaz combined all-time Premier League 11 with the help of our wonderful audience here on the
I'll tell you one thing. You
stream.
say wonderful audience, we're getting a lot of stick in the comments at the minute.
They're giving it to
They're
us.
giving it
but
to
we
us
love them.
large portions. But
we can take
we
it.
do love them.
We do like large portions.
We do.
So yeah, we're going to be doing that today, as well as talking about the up-and-coming Manchester City Spurs game. See the injury list, if it's growing. I'm sure. Should he be on the table tonight, Richarlison?
I tell you what, you seen the back, the tattoos.
Well, I tell you what,
You've seen that artwork on
he's
that
always
back.
on the. He's always on the. What do you call it? The physio
He's
table.
put himself on the back with Ronaldo and Neymar.
Oh.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you, you got to back yourself if you got tattoos like that on your back, eh?
That's where he's going. Right, anyway, so get involved at Same Old Spurs Pod. It's Madge and Gaz, and welcome to the Same Old Spurs all-time Premier League 11. That's all right. It's Madge and Gaz. As Page Dog said, no more large portions. Hashtag 365.
Yes, mate, and he's spot on. And it's been a nice weekend of going into a Monday without not having to suffer that a Tottenham negative outcome match. It's been lovely today. I said I needed a break from it.
You did.
It's been great.
It's been nice. Off the back of a positive England showing against Ireland.
Yeah.
I told you, win-win for me.
Yeah. I said to him on the day he supported, and all week you've been like, Ireland, and on the day he was like, England.
It was win-win. It was always going to be a win-win for me.
Yeah, to be fair.
And technically, I'm Northern Irish, and they're doing really well, actually.
Yeah.
Northern Ireland doing really well. But yeah, it was good to see England in action. So let's have a little catch-up, guys, before we get into our Premier League 11. Just touch quickly on Lee Carsley, on his reign. 5 wins out of 6 for England. Giving a lot of debuts to people.
Yeah.
Big Dom Solanke was out there.
Yeah, I think it's a manager who obviously wanted to sort of make an impact. I think he struggled with the media match, post-match, found things difficult.
I don't think that's his kind of...
Nah, but it is...
I got a Razzmatazz.
Nah, but when you're in an England role, it just comes with the territory.
That's Southgate.
He was good with the media. He was fantastic with the media.
He said the right thing.
Exactly. He's a yes man.
Yeah, but it didn't come with like a bit of sparkle.
Nah, there weren't.
Not like a Martin Young sparkle.
No, mate.
Hello, Gabby, darling.
Wasn't no Jose, was he, when he first joined the Prem?
I am special.
But he needed a recover match because obviously we lost to Greece at home, and we needed to recover, didn't we? We needed good to end it and like end the actual end up with a couple of decent results, and we did that, mate. Look, that Greece game, it's mental, isn't it? Like it was a hostile atmosphere, wasn't it? Like there, suddenly you're going to Greece and you're coming away with a win, and you're going, that's a great result.
Yeah,
it's mental, isn't it? A lot of people dropped out of the squad, didn't they?
Well,
Harry weren't happy. I found it funny. He said the piece about everyone dropping out of the squad, and he was left out of the team.
Yeah,
himself.
obviously, I think we got called up your country. Obviously, yeah, it's a big privilege, and hopefully, and obviously, I'll be going there with sketches on my feet, pride in my heart, and hopefully another penalty, and I'll dispatch the penalty with great style, and yeah, hopefully I'll get a play.
I don't know what to say to that. What I will say is it was a flat game and it needed a moment.
It did.
Who produced the moment?
Great ball from Harry Kane.
That's what he does. Do you know what I mean? And you can say what you want about him.
I can say a game against Ireland in the Nations League B group, he's come up with a moment.
And yeah, exactly.
Tell you what, against France, we can go to the second penalty, no moments.
You don't like
No moments.
I'll tell you one thing, he's given me a few good moments over the years supporting him for Spurs, mate.
Never in a final.
Nah. We could go on about this chat if you want to get into it. Really.
I
agree with you. But
I'll go into that chat if you like. Yeah.
We'll see.
Harry Kane, what a fantastic player.
We're going to name our all-time 11, aren't we? From the Premier League here, we'll see if he's in.
We will, mate. I don't think he can't not be in, can he?
Yeah, no good is he apparently, can't he?
No one said he's not no good.
You love to critique him.
Absolutely, because I'm sorry, if it comes to the big moments, yeah, names like Didier Drogba come to mind.
Yeah,
Bayern Munich.
Can't dispute that. We've had that conversation. You can't dispute that he hasn't turned up in finals. But what I will say is he's turned up against Arsenal. For me personally, that's huge. I know you can't compare the two, Madge. Far from. But he has turned up in North London derbies.
And that is why Big Ange thinks you're a loser, Gaz.
Yeah, good. Well, you know what? Big Ange, he needs to do a bit himself because he'll be a loser. He'll be out of the job. So here we go.
Big Ange, if you're worried about Arsenal, then you've not got a winning mentality. Evening to Richard, Wellesley, Page Dog, Simon. Who else we got in there? Franco says, great show, lads. Thank you. Norman's with us. Who else is there? Will. We've got loads of people with us. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
keep those messages coming in on the chat if you are live on YouTube. If you're listening via audio, thank you very much as well. Big up to SOS fam. Hashtag Angin. Got some Angin support early doors. So yeah, a positive result for England. And then it goes to a German. What do you think of a German being in charge of England?
Not a problem with it, Madge.
No problem?
Nah. We've won nothing with anyone else, have we? Might as well have a go at him. He's the best that's available. He's got the best CV out there.
Eddie Howe?
He's available. Nah. Why would you want to leave Newcastle and take an England job? That's a big job, Newcastle.
Because
competing for honours, like they're trying to get in the Champions League, Europa League. That's a good club job to have. I just don't know why. Also, you have to look at his age. That'll come, but in time. I think it'd be crazy to step out of that job and into the England job at this time. I think Tuchel would be right for England, mate.
But you don't have a problem with the German thing?
Don't at all.
Do you have a German?
I could understand why people would, but look, mate, England need to try and win something. Who's the best qualified at this time to try and help and assist them do that? I think it's Thomas Tuchel. Big Ange. No, but would you agree with that? Look, I know that there's that patriotic side of things where you obviously ideally want an Englishman. I don't think there's too many top candidates out there.
That's a problem, that is.
That is a problem.
But does that start from the Premier League and the clubs not giving that many English managers chances? Do
Definitely.
you think? Okay, I know he's won the Champions League, but has Thomas Tuchel got a better CV than say Steven Gerrard in terms of an English player who wore the shirt with a lot of pride, was a great player, has won something with Rangers, Liverpool captain.
Well, mate, they want him out in Saudi, didn't they?
Did they want him out already?
Yeah, they want him out, mate. They're trying to pay him out of his deal. Not going for him out there, not working for him. You look at Frank Lampard. Look at the jobs he's done. I think the first stint at Chelsea weren't too bad.
Second, very good.
Second stint was poor. Done all right at Derby. Awful at Everton. Yeah, so it's like we're back onto that chat, man. We talked about managers last week. There's not a lot of managers out there at the moment you can point and give you guarantees.
I don't think any manager gives you a
No,
guarantee. I think, like we
no.
said, the new Manchester United manager, we don't know anything.
He looks the part. Walking around the training ground, looks
talks the part.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Young lad.
39, mate.
Yeah.
That is insane.
When you would go for the next audition up there.
Well, it'll be out within here. We'll go there, the new Baldies. So, yeah, that was England, and the Tuchel reign starts in January, I believe. At least we ain't got no...
Listening
blood.
to yours, sorry, mate, just come in there listening to your radio show today. Rumours that he was on a holiday and didn't want to cut his early short or cancel his holiday. Hence why he's taken up the post a bit later on than planned.
So you got a holiday book? You got a holiday book?
I'll tell you one thing, them Tenerife 2 weeks all inclusive, fantastic stuff.
I reckon he's at Lanzarote.
Get yourself there. I'll tell you what, Porta del Carmen, lovely strip there. Irish bars galore. Get yourself in there, mate.
Yeah, so that was yesterday.
I've got to show you a couple of things here, Madge, because I was on Daddy Daycare at the weekend. Know you're a busy lad. And I said I would. My nephew here, Brody, he goes to me, I want to draw.
Lovely name.
I want to draw you a Madge.
I like this.
Yeah. So he's got, look at that one he's pulled out. What camera are we in here? This one here. So this is you, Majestic.
I've got a lot of time for that. That is very good.
Very good. What do you reckon?
That's bang on, that is. He's got the L right, the Levi's jacket.
Shout out to my nephew, Brody, there. That's one of your pictures on your socials, I think, isn't
yeah,
it?
that's one of my press pictures.
Yeah, that was fantastic, I think.
Should we put them on the wall?
Yeah, we will put them on the ball. Yeah, definitely.
I kind of feel like we're on, like, remember like BBC back in the day, like Smart or Tony Hart's art collection.
Definitely. Then we got me here. Look, my little girl done the hearts. This is me. I'm very happy with her hair. I think they've gave me a few like
back to you on the hair.
A few more dots than I've probably got there.
Why have you got a Nike tattoo on your neck?
Because I've got. I like the Nike tattoo. Yeah, she does. But I'll tell you one thing. The hearts there, my little girl. So shout out to Brody. And obviously there were the high class pictures. That's what we was doing on our weekend, my friend.
I tell you what. How old's Brody now?
Brody is 9, 10.
We got a lovely picture in from young Brody, who's 10 years of age. He writes in from Enfield. He says, "Hi, Imagine Gaz. My name's Brody. Unfortunately, my dad supports West Ham. Can I become a Spurs fan like you and Gaz?" Yes, you can. We can get this here on the walls.
He'll love that.
Let's see if we can get this in there. Slot it in. There we go. Oop. There we go. I'll get some blue tape. Oh, there you go. But we do like it. We do like it very much.
Gone down like the Tottenham mob.
If you are listening, do watch on YouTube, and you can see how wonderful these. Someone said Gaz has been to Turkey.
Where have I been to Turkey? How have I been to Turkey?
With the picture.
Oh yeah, I have been to
In
Turkey.
the
with
picture you have done.
Yeah.
So that's what you
Done
do.
me there, James. Done me.
Also, for those that don't know, Mr. Gazza over here, Anthony King, went on a romantic evening to watch Gladiator 2 with Luke Gilbert.
I did. Yeah, I went on a date with my long-term friend Luke Gilbert. Shout out to Gilbert.
That's your cinema go-to.
It is a cinema. I don't mind a cinema, mate. I
love a cinema. You got a cinema card.
I have a cinema and a Turkish after.
Oh, very
all the trimmings.
Taramaslata?
Nah, I thought I'd leave that one.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Project C365. Yeah. I had every other trimming though.
Yeah.
But no, you know what? That film, watched it the weekend. I don't know if anyone's watched it, Gladiator. I'm not going to
No,
spoil it for too many
I
people.
want to see it.
Yeah, I won't, but it's worth the watch. You know what films, though? Just that little 20 minutes, half hour too long these days.
What about Joker 2? You seen that yet?
Not for me.
I heard that was bad.
Terrible. Got it wrong, mate.
Did you go see it?
No, I haven't seen it. But where are you with that? But
Terrible.
I didn't see it because of the amount of bad reviews. So I didn't put myself through the pain. But do you know what, mate? There's a dark Joker. I'm a little bit of the Joker who's a little bit. You know the first one with. What was the first Joker? That was Jack Nicholson.
Oh yeah.
I like him, Heath Ledger style, all that one. Them ones. This one's a little bit more dark, isn't it?
The first one, he's really good in. He's really good.
Yeah. I think they've gone. I think they've just.
Page Dog reckons you took the coasters to the cinema. Is this what's happened?
I have taken the coasters.
You took the coasters to the cinema, and now they're not on.
All out. I can't believe it. So far, I've taken the coasters to the cinema. I've gone to Turkey.
You've had a busy weekend.
You know, I mean, we've had a fantastic weekend.
I'm trying to think what I did on the weekend.
What you did the weekend?
I didn't do my gig.
Yeah, well.
That's not like me.
No.
I had a big gig in Belfast. What a bird at Belfast, so it is. What's the crackers? And let's have some chop.
I thought, you know that. I'm not going to say it, actually. You know that video that done the rounds? Is it Amy Lee or you know that one? That
Yeah. What,
you sounded like
yeah.
there.
Say hello to the boys up there with Jimmy Lee. Oh, dearie me. Oh, here we go. I do
you know what? We are not them people as well.
Yeah.
But I got sent that the other day. And some of the ones that people, you know, when the
It's the
people,
replies
you know, the people that mock it.
Yeah.
There was a couple, mate.
know.
I did not stop laughing for a long
The
time.
sellotape one.
the sellotape.
What up, man? Terrible.
Oh,
I tell you what, I do remember now, thanks to Alev, is thoughts on the boxing. Now,
Great shout.
the boxing ruined my whole weekend. I'm going to tell you why. Because Friday night, I was on TalkSport alongside Weird Jamie Lee.
Yeah.
I wasn't on with Weird Jamie Lee. I was on with Hacks and Jermaine Pennant. And we did the all-time Premier League Ish House 11. As in, you know, Ish House.
Great one, that would have been.
And we finished that at like 1 o'clock or whatever. I had to get a taxi home because there's no, buses and tubes or whatever. And there was an accident on the way home. And it took me
You on a bus?
forever. No bus.
You on a... Oh, whoa. Stop there, mate. Because the boys had a little chuckle in the background when he brought up the word bus. There was no bus.
No.
There was no train.
There's no buses.
I'm telling you, you ain't
So I
getting
got
out
an
of
Uber.
that.
No,
This man does not do a bus.
No, obviously, I got
Absolutely
a
no
luxury
chance.
Uber home. It was a
You
Jaguar.
got an absolutely no chance. I think we did get on a bus once, didn't we? That time we
Yeah, we
won
beat
down.
Arsenal.
Yeah.
That was the last time I was in a bus was then. But anyway, it took me ages to get home. I got in, started watching the boxing.
You messaged me, didn't you? I thought you ready for this?
Yeah.
I picked the message up the next day. I think that answered it. Like, I weren't invested in that, mate.
I was watching Natasha fight. She smashed it, even though they should have stopped it.
Yeah.
Amanda's eye was absolutely in bits.
Yeah, I tell you what, Kay Taylor's just like different levels, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you know what I mean? That is an icon of you're talking about icons of sport.
Yeah, I was at my sister Natasha's watching it.
Yeah, brilliant.
And so, yeah, this is it. I got up at silly o'clock, went to my sister Natasha's because in the old days, when Mike Tyson used to fight, we'd go around like my dad's mate's house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we kept that going. And then we watched Katie fight Amanda Serrano. That was a great fight. Her eyelid was bust open. It was terrible. But then that fight with Mike Tyson, I thought I'm going to get to see a Mike Tyson ring walk here. Brilliant. Here we go.
That was it, though.
Yeah. That was the highlight.
That's what you pay for, just the ring walk. That was it. That was as good as it was going to get.
It was
You know what? Jake Paul let him off as well. I mean, he could have closed.
I
the
think
show
Mike
with him.
Tyson let him off. You watch it back. And
He had a go in the
Why does he
first,
not
didn't
go? Why does he not throw? He's like, you look at what he's throwing in training, and then every time he went to go to him, he stops. I was like, it was anyway. Because of that, I didn't really have any sleep. Got up early, watched the boy play football. He played over Bishop Stortford.
Yeah.
1-8-1.
As he's done.
Scored 2 goals. Scored 2 goals.
Not
yeah.
surprised any.
And then I jarred my knee getting into the car.
Yeah, it's an absolute disaster.
And I think that was all to do with fatigue.
Yeah, it's a problem.
And I was like, honestly, I was in such a bad way I couldn't go to Belfast because I thought if I do my knee any worse, I won't be able to train this week. So
that's big for you as well.
Yeah,
man.
it
Do
was
you know what I mean?
very
It's
big.
tough for you to do you know what I mean?
Big
to
time.
just give out up on that, not just the opportunities, but financially, whatever it might be. But you got to do the right thing, mate.
100%.
Because if you have a setback, it's not just physically how to slow you down, but it'll be mentally the pull down, mate. Like, you know what I mean? Anyone who goes to the gym, like I'm talking like I'm an Adonis here, but what I'm saying is anyone who goes to the gym or has a little bit of routine, you don't go for a few days and half affect you, doesn't it?
it does. It
really
really
does, and it's
It can
almost
affect
like
your strength.
your
as well.
medicine is like you're going to the gym,
Yeah,
or going for a walk or whatever.
100%.
Yeah,
Speaking of the gym, I was there this morning.
Yeah, I saw you. I saw the social.
Guess who rang me? Well, guess who messaged me? Tyson.
Oh, right, yeah. AJ was walking around at David Lloyd's last week.
AJ's and David Lloyd's last week, but
Yeah.
Tyson Fury sent me a text today asking what he wants for his ring walk.
Ready for the big one.
Yeah, he's
That's
ready.
incoming, isn't it?
He's locked in.
Talking to Saudi, I thought Chris Billam-Smith was obviously on the wrong end of a defeat at the weekend.
He got battered.
Yeah, but what heart?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I just sometimes think like,
Strange old matchup that one.
you know what I mean? But you send him out, like he's out there. Do you know what I mean? He's going through. I'd like to see him get pulled a little bit earlier there.
Yeah.
Damaging.
It was damaging.
Damaging.
And then in the UFC, of course, did you see the entrance from Dana White and Trump?
Oh mate,
It looked like D-Generation X were walking into an arena.
It was epic stuff.
Him, Elon Musk, Dana White, Kennedy.
Kid Rock there just for the.
I thought that was Kid. It was Kid Rock, wasn't it?
Kid Rock doing a bit.
My name is Kid.
Unbelievable. And you know what was even more is John Jones when he won is the little Trump dance at the end. You see it and he's like,
Yeah.
no,
My dear.
look, mate, if you're a Trump fan, that was high levels, high class stuff.
Mate, I just think if you're just a fan of entertainment,
Yeah, of course.
it's like do you know what? I'm not living in America, so when you watch it from afar, it's quite funny, isn't it?
It was good, yeah.
Right. MAGA baby Trump 2024. Right, we're not getting into politics. We'll be here all night. That'll be a whole different show.
Especially with Madge.
Well, yeah. We're going to talk about our all-time Premier League 11. Now, I thought we'd do this because, we haven't done this in Vision. We've talked about it before in the podcast. But I think it'd be interesting for us to put this on the internet to see what you guys think if you're watching on YouTube and if you're listening at home on the podcast, who you'd go with. So you've got to start with the keepers. You've got to start with in goal. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see 3 names that have come up at the bottom of the screen. And now, you go through the Premier League goalkeepers that we've had. Ian Walker.
Yeah.
Did Eric Torsvet play in the Premier League? I think he probably did.
Bartson, was he?
Espen
Bartson.
Casey Keller.
Yeah.
Neil Sullivan.
Sully, yeah.
Who else? Paul Robinson. Do you know what? It's a travesty that he's not up there. That's a big faux pas from me for that.
Yeah, but I'm not being funny. You're just knocking it up there. Part of it is we're going to talk about it as we go along.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So it's all good.
Yeah, but I do think I'd probably, now looking at the names that have gone up there.
I think it's if you're going 1-2, my top 2 is Robbo and Loris.
Well,
it's out of them 2.
Well, this is
Friedel done a little bit though, just before Loris come in.
But this is why we've got him up there. If you look at the keepers now, let's start with, I've got Aurelio Gomez there. Now, the reason why I put Aurelio Gomez up there to discuss is because there was that season when we got into the Champions League. The first time we ever got into the Champions League, he was like number 1. And he was absolutely magnificent in 2 games that I remember, in particular, against Arsenal and against Chelsea. And his performances in those games were part of the reason why we got top 4. What was that? The Arsenal fans chucking stuff around the room. Yeah, I'm lots of shouts in the chat for
good friend
for
of the show as well, Paul Robinson.
I'm going to take 2 weeks.
You've had a 2 week. That's a big serving.
It's a big 2 weeks.
He's a good friend of the show, Paul Robinson.
Well, this is what, as Pedro said, Gomez could be a legend and a calamity all in one fixture. Gomez was Spursy. He was actually.
I tell you what, he had the longest throw ever.
Yes,
yeah, I think there's a little bit of a gap there. Like you look at the period that Loris was in goal for us, and I know the modern day, obviously, lately, he's sort of.
We'll come on to Lloris because we've got to wax lyrical about Lloris because he's probably.
Friedel, little stopgap as we.
Well, yeah. How long was Friedel?
Ian Walker? Do you know Ian Walker? You were just seeing he looked the part, didn't he?
He did look the part.
The curtains were perfect.
Oh, they were fantastic.
You know what I mean? The high class curtains. I remember one when he got the England chance. Remember Zola though? He got done inside on the inside post.
Wembley.
Always a big memory for me.
6 or 7.
Got the chance there. Remember in goal for Amakachi show. But yeah, look, he was a good servant, Ian Walker. I'm not too sure if he was the top grade.
Brad Friedel came into the club, and he spent 4 seasons with us. He had 50 appearances. Before that,
I missed the Gomez gum shield page.
The Gomez gum shield was unreal, wasn't it?
Simon Blissett, I know positive Simon. Ian Walker, Keller, the 2 worst I've seen in the Premier League era. Yeah, couldn't.
Yeah, here we go. Friedel suddenly. I'm just looking at Friedel and his tenure because that was it. Lloris came in for Friedel, didn't he? And it was like at the start, Friedel was.
Everyone was like, "When's he getting in?
Yeah,
when's he getting in?" He kept playing well.
I know.
And he just delayed that process, didn't he?
So yeah, I think with Brad Friedel, there was some amazing performance from him, especially because of his age, and I just really liked him as a fella. He was a top gentleman.
Yeah, USA Yank, nice guy, good goalkeeper, done well at Blackburn, didn't he? But as you say, I think he's just a really nice chap.
Apart from
do it as late as what he did and as old as what he did, man, you got to be capable.
But you know what? Like I said, massive faux pas from myself here. Let's just talk about Paul Robinson quickly because when Paul Robinson was England's number 1 and he was Spurs and obviously scored against Watford, he was absolutely tremendous for us.
Yeah, he had a spell where he was really, really good.
He was really good. But
he
like
was
I said,
really
good.
I don't think he had too much top competition England-wise around at that particular time. If you think of it, not doing him a disservice there, but he was a top goalkeeper match for us. Do you know what I mean? We spoke to him again, real good friend of the show. Really, really fell out, didn't he, with Juande Ramos, who selected Cherney in front of him, didn't he? ended up getting the gig, Robinson, didn't he, with a little bit of luck to play Chelsea in the Carling Cup final. And he ended up winning that trophy with us, mate. And you look back on all the photos, he's iconic in the photo.
Yeah.
He's
so
there.
I think Robbo is our number 2, even though he's not up there at the moment. We might have him on the subs bench. But for me, Premier League era, there can only be one for me. It's Hugo Lloris.
Definitely.
World Cup winning French captain. He came to us with a good reputation off the back of the 2010 Euros or something. It was a competition I saw him in. England played against France. He was really good.
What was the fee? About 12 mil, I think.
It was very, very...
Round about that. Do you know what I mean? You look at them numbers now in comparison. I know there's inflation, but Jesus, like he was a top goalkeeper.
He was really good. And I think Hugo Lloris in his prime, some of the saves that he made, I go back to do you remember the save against Bayer Leverkusen away on the line?
Top draw.
Unbelievable.
Shot stopping, brilliant.
Yeah. It was absolutely incredible.
Just part of that club, though, Madge. Unfortunately, I hate to put a negative on it and a little X in his thing that just didn't manage to pick anything up.
I know,
was there for a long time.
You want to talk about big moments? Manchester City at home, penalty, Aguero steps up in the Champions League. Hugo saves it.
Yeah.
Sonny scores, Hugo saves one. That, pretty much gets us through to the next round, really. You look at how the way the result went. Saves against was it Adebayor at Wembley against Arsenal? Did he save Jamie Vardy's penalty?
Bamiyang, wasn't it?
Bamiyang, yeah.
Bamiyang from the penalty.
Yeah, Bamiyang.
Late, Bamiyang. Awful penalty.
I'm sure he saved Jamie Vardy's or someone's. I'm sure he saved the Leicester penalty.
Look, mate, if you had a highlight reel of all the saves that Hugo Lloris made, it'd be a long one.
Oh, that was it.
If you had a highlight reel of all the saves you made, it'd be a hell of a long one.
I think collectively we can agree. Lots of shouts here for Robinson.
Yeah, look, a Page Dog there. Good, I like Page Dog as well, but like that's where Hugo Lloris is like time in the game came at the right period for me. Because like if he was playing now, there's so much onus playing out the back. He struggled with that Tottenham,
and he did.
He can't do that. So it's almost like if he's going to probably finish his career at the perfect time because it was just sort of phasing. It's like his sort of way of playing, it's sort of phasing out, and it was like a new generation of goalkeepers, wasn't it? So yeah, couldn't play out from the back. Struggled at Tottenham at the death, didn't he? Really, really did. And yeah, like he had to move on, not for himself, but we needed to move on from him.
Okay, so we start building this 11. So let's put him into the goal then. Hugo Lloris goes into goal. We seeing that next? Okay, cool. I was going to do it one by one, but it's cool. Yeah, cool. It's all good. Right, let's talk now about left backs.
Right.
Now, you can see the names that have come up on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. Adogi, Rose, Akoto. Now, we haven't been blessed with that many left backs in the Premier League era with Spurs. Of course, R.I.P. Justin Edinburgh. Top gentleman. FA Cup winner with Spurs. Fantastic guy.
He won the Worthington Cup as well.
He did indeed. So,
you're talking about people who ain't won nothing.
I know he won a bit with us.
Picked up a couple there, isn't he?
Successful left back he was.
I think it's a bit harsh how you've left Tramezzani out of that list. I'll be honest.
You would have had Trammer in there.
Tramezzani, mate. He looked the part, didn't he?
Didn't Talrico play there as well?
Christian Ziege.
Did he play left back?
Played left back, then he left-hand side there. Might have got in there. Talrico. He had the little short socks, didn't he, over the shin pads. Right-sided left back. Timothy Atuba, Emilio's part there. What a goal he got up at Newcastle. Yeah. Smallest shorts ever in the history of football. But I think you've probably got it nailed on there, Madge, with M3. We're gonna see what happens with a Dougie because he started off like a house on fire. Fantastic. A few question marks about him defensively at the minute, but he's a young player, so he's got time to improve his game.
Gilberto. Talrico.
Yeah, I mentioned him. Yeah, just mentioned him.
What about Lee Young-po?
Lee Young-po, I tell you, he played it Martin Yeo era.
He did indeed.
He played a lot of football for Tottenham. Lee Young-po had a little bit, did a bit nimble, but you're right. And again, another right-footed player playing as a left back. I think you nailed it with them three, Madge. I think they're the ones really.
So let's have a look at Asu Akoto because I think his left back sort of glow up was when he had Gareth Bale in front of him.
Okoto,
Yeah.
yeah, unbelievable. Again, like you talk about Ben White, striking similarities. Don't like football.
Yeah, apparently
People.
so.
Not interested in football. Don't watch football. Just good at it. Imagine that talent match. Imagine that we having.
I don't think that endeared him to fans that well because
No,
we
it
love
didn't.
football, and it's just like, what do you mean you don't care about football?
Yeah, it was a bit of a problem. Even like that was a good signing for Spurs, though. You talk about signings at that club that have not been good. You think of the money that we paid for Okoto and the shift that we got out of him.
Yeah,
Really, really good. Really, really good. Same with Danny Rose.
yeah. Well,
1 million from Leeds, wasn't it?
that's what we're going to. Danny Rose started off life very poorly at Spurs.
Awful.
In actual fact, I think I tweeted that he was the worst left back that Spurs has ever played. Right? Lo and
remember you had to
behold,
apologise, didn't you?
Maurizio Pochettino comes in. I literally pulled Danny Rose aside at Wembley, and I said to him, "Danny, I once tweeted you as the worst left back ever at Spurs. I'm so sorry. You're not. You're the best one we've ever had. Thank you." And he laughed his head off. He goes, "Thanks for telling me the truth."
It's a prime example of a player like just who come in young, question marks, everyone writes off. By the way, I do it with young players. Is he good enough?
You've already done it with Big Drag.
Yeah, well, I think I've been right with him. But
You said that about Rose.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like again, what you mentioned, playing in a position left wing. He weren't seen as a left back when he was left winger. Sort of got his time at Tottenham off to a fly with that goal against Arsenal.
Well, I was there.
home, wasn't it?
I was there Wednesday
Brilliant goal.
evening. It just comes out, and he came on. I think he came on. Bang!
Brilliant goal.
Just such, and the reel away was just iconic.
Yeah, really, really
But
passionate.
you think so? He was part of that team that got us into the Champions League.
A little bit too vocal for me, Madge, at times.
As he-
It's how you look at it, but a little bit too vocal at times. I get it, but a little bit over the top with it sometimes.
I think. Do you know what it was? Those comments that he made about Googling the transfers, and he's absolutely right. He is saying about the recruitment at Spurs and what we talk about every week on this show and stuff. He called it out just as a player.
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
school pager quickly, right? Diet Coke. Yeah. Tell me why that's.
I think he's praising you.
Oh, he's
for that.
praising me.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I tell you what, calm down, son.
No, because you know his page dog. I do
Yeah.
apologise if he was actually bigging me up.
He's bigging you up there. He hasn't gone unnoticed, by the
No,
way.
because
That's a clap emoji, isn't
no,
it?
because some people, right? They go, you can't keep drinking Coke, Diet Coke. It's got aspartame in it. It's gonna kill you. It's like, mate, everything kills you. If this stops me eating loads of rubbish, I'll have it.
Get it down, yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I think you're spot on though, Madge. You think of it like in an era where you can't say anything, and we spoke about it last week. I sort of looking back at that situation, just called it how it was. Be like Conte, be like the others. Do you know what I mean?
Madge with the best defensive reaction I've ever seen. Absolutely, page dog. You know me. I'm ready. The guard's always up. Danny. The season at White Hart Lane at the end, that last season, him and Carl Walker together, they were both the best fullbacks in the Premier League at that time.
Wasn't it good as well, Madge? Like looking at your fullbacks, and at one time we had players there. How about he representing England?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Danny Rose was a shoo-in for England, mate.
Emilio says Diet Coke out of a mug is a no for me. It would be a no for me as well. It doesn't taste great. But
Looks
it's
better though.
It's for the look.
It's all part of the look.
It's all part of the look.
All
Look at
the
that. See
look.
that? M.
You know what? You should have. Normally, you you got a cup of tea in there, didn't you? 2 sugars. You do the little slurp, didn't you? You know?
All right, Linda. There's your boy. Lovely. Yeah, mine's on the bench again. He's a mug. So, and then we look at Udogie. Now, this season's Udogie would not be in this list at all, right? But last season, you looked at Udogie and thought, this geezer could possibly become the best left back we've ever had.
We had the chat.
Yeah.
We had the chat. I'm not writing off the chat. I think
No.
he's got all of the attributes.
I think since his injury and since his surgery, it doesn't feel like he's gone back to those heights of last season.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's still early doors. So just
Mate, I'm sorry, man. I don't need to come and talk about it a little bit. But I'm looking for you know what? I said it in a little joke today. Like, there's a lot of I had the long jackets People walk around with the long jackets.
We Arsene
on.
Wenger's.
Yeah, they've got the long jackets on. They've got the little, the initial stitched in.
Oh, the coach.
All the coaches look the part, don't they? Why can't they do a little bit more? I'm looking for people to improve players at Spurs. It's part of the it's part of the job. Do you know what I mean? And like, so what I'm saying there with a Dougie, using him in his example there, if you've got a problem in one-on-one situations, defensively you switch out, I'm expecting him coaching staff to try and improve that in his game.
There's only so much someone else can do for you.
Yeah, I know. I know that, but like you have, there's got to be a little bit of player improvement at Spurs. I do think there has been in certain players. Look at Kulusevski, for example, gone on leaps and bounds under this manager, change of position. But I think that's one of them. He's one of them that could do with a little bit of coaching, perhaps, in certain areas of his game.
Emilio's got great points. Says Udogie still very young. Would be good if he had regular had Reggie as a competition rather than knowing he's playing every game. So we are, mate. So we're going to take Danny Rose and put him as our left back for now.
Definitely.
The next question.
Solid start at the moment.
Look at that. Look at Louis.
I tell you what, the levels here are high.
Unbelievable. Well done, Louis. Look, he's been working all day on this.
Brilliant.
Right.
Chorluka in there.
Well, this is it. So I've gone for right backs now.
I'll tell you one thing, talking to Chorluka, got it miserably wrong, didn't I? A couple of podcasts ago.
Oh, tell him again, guys.
Absolutely terrible.
My quiz question today is Chorluka went from Tottenham to Man City for how much?
I'll tell you what, I even done it in that voice.
You did it that way.
Chorluka, yeah, absolute disaster.
So, yeah, just to go through the right backs, because
I think you've missed a couple there as well.
Let's go through who we missed. Dean
I'll
Austin.
tell you, missed the one that, like, the really right hit zone. Stephen Carr is the one I'm going to bring in.
Oh, guys, I've had a mare.
You've had a
I've had a 2 week
I should have got
mare.
going with this, mate. But what happened, you know, the Stephen Carr right ring true for me is because at St Mary's in primary school, he was a big friend of the Coles.
Yeah, I remember.
Michael Cole in our school. Shout out to the Coles if they're listening. They went to our school. He was a big friend. He always used to be at my school picking up Michael Cole. And like in a time when he was the guy at Spurs at right back, you know what I mean?
I think I've had an absolute mare.
Again, he disappointed me. I'm talking about players when got a little bit too big for his boots.
Did.
Ended up at Newcastle.
Like that was a bigger move.
Yeah, because I think he thought he was going to get a bigger move.
Yeah.
Didn't quite happen, but no doubt he was a top player.
Yeah.
Remember that goal he got against Man United, that ping, mate.
He did, walking in a...
Different gravy, mate.
Oh, he was very good.
Dean Austin, you've left him out.
Dean Austin. But the Stephen Carr one, look, you know what it is? The right back one's so easy because it's Kyle Walker, right? So Kyle Walker was always going to be in, so I'm thinking, who can I go up against Kyle Walker with? So let's just start with Kyle Walker, just because, again, part of that team that got us into the Champions League. I remember a game against AC Milan away from home, Gattuso taking him out. I liked him. He was a ball-playing right back.
Yeah, not quick,
No.
not blessed with his pace,
No,
but if we're talking about defenders who can defend,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
And play from the back.
wouldn't be against him playing a couple of games for us at the minute. Like, you know what I mean? Just defend.
Nah.
You know what I mean? If the onus is not on attack and you've got to defend, look, yeah. Again, I think a lot of these players at Spurs, they seem to have spells where they're all right. You could talk about another couple. You could put Wanyama in that. You know what I mean? You could put Sissoko in that. They have little spells, but there's no real longevity.
Consistent.
Yeah,
longevity.
Yeah, longevity. Sorry, I need to get that right. And consistency really is their match.
Yeah, I know.
Do you agree with that?
No, I did. You know, absolutely right. Stephen Carr is banker to be second.
I'll tell you what, how much money are we serving up at the minute? You're on 4 weeks, 6 weeks. You're only into the two positions.
You started with no coasters. We've messed this pod right
bring
up.
the duck back. Where's the duck?
But yeah, Stephen Carr definitely was in with a shout. I have to obviously talk about...
Emilio reckons you've put Chorluka just to get back at me for my quiz.
I might have. It should have been Stephen Carr. I've gone with...
I'll tell you what, look, Emilio missed out Emerson Royale.
No.
The doc.
The doc, dear me, we've had some crackers, haven't we? We've had some crackers.
I think you got that one right, Madge. Kyle Walker.
Pedro Porro, I have to talk about again. Got a lot of ability.
Shooing at nut for Spain at the minute. Great going forward.
Yeah.
Spoke about him last week. Can't
but
defend.
Great going forward, but again, it's just very easy to go on to Kyle Walker because...
Just to talk about right backs, Madge, because I think it's quite good. Linked quite a lot with Lamptey again.
Again, we've been after him for years.
Yeah, no, linked quite heavily with him again. Just looking at Porro, that situation, right back at with Carvajal at Real Madrid, out of a big injury, old. Trent Alexander's been linked with a move to them, free transfer. He's also in the running for that. You know what I mean? Spaniard. Wouldn't be surprised if something was going on there. Really wouldn't. But we'll see.
We will see, but I don't think anyone really comes close, because I think Kyle Walker is arguably the Premier League's best right back of all time.
Came in with Carl Norton again. You're looking at players so far
from the Blades.
Look at the position. So again, we're talking about recruitment now. Hugo Lloris, 12 million. Danny Rose, just 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right back there. Carl Walker. What was the deal? He came in not a lot of money. I think it was 4 million. Then Carl Norton as well was in the deal. Be interesting to see what he came in for. Like, unbelievable player. Like, just so quick, lightning, recovery, just the ability on the football, technique at the highest level.
The speed
just,
of him was
just unreal
even
player.
Now,
mate.
34 years of
even
age.
now, mate, he's just so good.
He came to Spurs in 2009, right?
Carl Norton, wasn't it?
Yeah. So he spent a long time with us. He joined.
Good player, mate.
Premier League Tottenham. He was loaned back to Sheffield United after further loan spells at QPR and Villa, and Walker's cemented his place in Tottenham's first team. He was part of the team, Tottenham, coached by Pochettino. Club career. How much did he come to us for? I've got to have a look at that. I want to know.
I think it was something like 4 million, if I remember.
So a combined fee of 9 million.
Yeah, him and Norton.
Yeah.
That's nothing. That is peanuts, mate.
Really is.
Good return we got for him, 50 mil when he went to City. Again, you're looking at that time where Daniel Levy's being questioned. We obviously got that word never go over. They're a selling club. That was an example of it then, Madge, I thought, when we sold Kyle Walker. Didn't really show no ambition. But look, if the player wants to leave, you got a decision to make as a club.
I would have him back now, Walker, that is. I'd have Walker back.
Of course.
Why would Man City get rid of him?
Yeah, no, I think he's an experienced chap around that group as well.
Absolutely. Huge love to Majestic Gazza. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you very much.
So it has to be Kyle Walker. Walker, Danny Rose, your left and your right back. You know, a bit of a theme here. It's very much Poch's players. So that's interesting. So, yeah, I think we can all decide that we're going to go with Kyle Walker at right back for this all-time Premier League 11. And to back him up, you'd have Stephen Carr probably as the backup.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now let's go from that to centre-backs now.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing, mate. I'm looking at the one second in, starts with a C, ends in an L.
Ends in a T.
Sol Campbell.
Well,
talk to me. How has he got on that little...
Here is a big discussion point, isn't it? If you are talking about the Premier League era and centre halves for Tottenham Hotspur, can you overlook a cup-winning captain that played for England? Look, Emilio, please don't mention him. Who's put Campbell in? 8 weeks' wages. You've got to talk about it.
More out of shambles than Simon. Look, at the end of the day...
Let's talk football. Come on, let's talk the uncomfortable talk, and let's talk about Sol Campbell.
Sol Campbell, this is where I'm at. Sol Campbell was a good player for Spurs in the time that he was there. That's it. Like, for me, he don't come into any sort of conversation when we're naming an all-time 11. Like, the way that he left the club, the team that he went to, it's just the dislike for the man will always remain. A little bit, for me, is the same for someone else. In this, we'll get onto him later. You'll know the man I'm talking about when you choose to go to rival clubs. But I think the way that he left as well, when he told all the fans that he was going to stay, and he was staying, and then he went to Arsenal, and he'll never be forgiven for me. But I won't go to the extreme anymore of the hate campaign against him. It's done. Like I just don't need to waste any more energy on it.
But would you not consider him as
chance.
Better than some of those other boys that stand there?
Even if I did, it would still be a no chance.
I want to talk football.
No.
I don't want to talk about...
Do you want to know why? And I'll give my answer because we haven't spoke about it yet. But me and you have agreed on this because we grew up in an era of 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Majority, yeah? So I'm going for a 4-4-2 here. And the reason why is I'm looking for a right footer and a left footer in my two.
Yeah.
That's what we've discussed.
Yeah.
So for that reason, he doesn't get in. He doesn't for me. And we discussed. Do you want to talk about who our two are now? We discussed go through.
No, we'll go through them all and we'll put them together.
Yeah. But what do you think of Sol?
Disappointing.
Unbelievable player, by the way. And what I will say is for Sol Campbell, talking from a footballing point of view, unbelievable player. played in an absolutely awful team
That's
as well.
what I'm saying.
Dreadful.
And won a
dreadful.
trophy.
Like in front of you was Stefan Freund.
He won a
Like,
trophy.
Do you know what I mean? To the left of you was, I think, Anthony Gardner. To the right of you, just pour all over the shop.
Vega was his partner in crime, wasn't he? You know, I just think in terms...
They tried to wheel him out, didn't they, for that semi-final against Arsenal? I thought he started off the game well. You know, he had a big injury going into it, didn't they? They wheeled him out there and they was going in, sort of like, hopefully, and then he got pulled off, bad injury. If you look at him, that meant a lot to him. He was distraught coming off the pitch there.
Yeah.
And then he come on the Gary Dockett, he put us 1-0 up.
He didn't,
We're in dreamland. But obviously got beat in the end.
London Foot Goal Centre says, "So was an unbelievable defender, but the title is Ultimate 11. And although he may be a better defender than some of the others, you can't call him an Ultimate Spurs player." There you go.
I think if he sat down and had a conversation, if he sat down, and I think if a lot of top level Premier League players as well sat down and had a chat about Sol Campbell and the other names that are mentioning that, a lot of them would pick Sol Campbell in it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like I'm on about like if you sat down with John Terry, like icons at centre half, Rio Ferdinand in that area he was playing, they would all go. Ledley and Sol, by the way.
Yeah, I think they probably would. To be fair.
You know what I mean? They probably would.
There's a few shouts to some that aren't up there just yet, which include Michael Dawson. Now, I love Dawson. For me, Dawson is the ultimate club man. He's the man that gets we always laugh about the club man award and all that kind of stuff. I like, you know, the guys. He's got the tracksuit on. He's got the bedspread. He's probably got the Tom cereal. Looks the bar. If I compared him to a modern day player of ours, it would be Ben Davies. I think Ben Davies is very
birthday
similar.
today. Who? Michael Dawson.
Oh, happy birthday, Dawes.
Yeah.
Loved him. When he was next to Ledley King, he looked $1 million. When he wasn't next to Ledley, he got found out.
Yeah. He was in that little. Was he in that little like treble with Woodgate? I think Woodgate was in at that time as well.
Yeah.
He was fighting for places as well. When he with him, ended up getting a nudge on him at the end. But you can make an argument for them. But
Gary Mabbott was in the Premier League era.
You know what I mean? I struggle with Gary Mabbott. I really do. I know that people.
He was a captain.
He was
won,
and all that. But I saw him just. He struggled to get about.
I think for me personally,
he struggled.
Personally, being the ages that we are, 37, I think we saw the latter stages of Gary Mabbott, and I think we're probably doing him a disservice.
Agreed.
Thinking about him in those later years.
Legend, by the way.
Absolute legend.
Scored a, what did he get the OG in the final? Did he get an OG?
No, it was Des Walker.
I thought he got there. Maybe I got that wrong. As I said, a little bit just weird. Like
Bristolian, and he from Bristol.
Yeah, he was like when he was playing at 1991 FA Cup times, we was like 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So let's just put the shoe in because Ledley King is going to be there, isn't he? Let's just put Ledley in now. Let's just stop the talk.
4-4-2. Remember at home, if you're joining in, we've gone for a 4-4-2. It's what we grew up watching, majority of it. So the key word is what I want in this as well. Like if I can say, which I think is important, we're picking an 11. Is I don't want to go. Yeah, Ginola, he can play left back. No. Let's pick proper. Let's go. If we're picking a team on Sunday,
that's why I've not put Gareth Bale at left back.
Yeah, if you've got a group out there who can do a little bit for you. So yeah,
that's it. Own goal in the '87 Cup final against Coventry. Well done.
Yeah. Shout out to Russ, top man as well.
Again, '87 was the year we were born.
Yeah.
So we don't have that recollection of that.
Knowledge there from the Russ.
Done well. Guys, you're not having Sol Campbell, no? If you're listening right now, should Sol Campbell be in the all-time Spurs 11?
No chance.
No chance at all.
No.
Okay, so then we look at,
look at them names. Stellar names there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The two bang in the middle of it. What a run they had for us.
Yeah, Vertonghen out of viral. Didn't Jan come first?
Yeah.
Jan came first because he played with Gareth Bale, didn't he?
Not big money.
No.
Again, not big money.
From Ajax.
Toby as well, 12 mil from Southampton, I think.
Well, Jan at the time, if I remember rightly, was rumoured to be going to Arsenal. There was either an Arsenal or Spurs thing, and he came to Spurs, so we liked him even more.
Iconic celebration, the Superman one, isn't it?
Absolutely. Could play at left back as well, was really good there. Again, he kind of felt like his legs were going a little at the end. And
Still playing.
I think we let him go too early. I think
you know what, mate? You can definitely look back on that and make an argument for it.
I
Especially
think
when you see some of the centre halves that have been playing for us in their eras since, match. quick way. We play with a lot of pace from the back now, though, don't we? But like, definitely, he left us 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah. And I think it's like, rather than giving him a bit of trust and say, we'll play you every other few games or whatever else, we just went too early and we left ourselves with like Dyer and Davies.
Agreed.
And who else was
at the time, though? Again, like, this is where it is. It's like hindsight. You can look back on it in hindsight and say, we let him go too early. But at the time, in the moment, just like when you look at managers, like when Poch left, in the moment, we're all saying it's done. He's got to go. He's got to move on.
It's true.
It's difficult.
Then Toby comes in. Did he come from via Southampton, via Atletico Madrid, right? That was how Toby came.
Yeah, I think you're right, Madge. Yeah.
I remember his first season is when we had the shirt with the sort of seatbelt over it.
Yeah.
Scored a goal against Man City, am I correct, at home when we won 4-1?
Yeah, scored a key goal in COVID. Is it against Arsenal?
Great goal against Arsenal.
In COVID, at times at home.
You
know what, mate?
Leader.
We talk about the gels, the £1 gels from Superdrug. I tell you what, mate, there's not £1 gel product in that guy's area. No, look at that Barnet.
All the gels.
Unbelievable. Like it just so much product in the hair. In the rain, it didn't move, did it?
A lot of people asking to remove the Sol Campbell graphic, please. It's putting me off my caravan.
Well, that's fair enough. That is fair enough.
Oh, dearie me. We'll get off.
You know what's funny though? It's funny, isn't it? Because unlike every single other one of them, apart from Ledley King, he's got a little medal at home.
That's right.
Representing Tottenham.
The irony is,
only him and Ledley.
Out of those 6, 2 of them were captain, 2 of them have medals.
Same trophy. But, and whenever he goes home and I tell you what, he didn't win that competition with Arsenal.
No, he didn't. Won a few else, though.
But, don't like the man, hate the fella, but, yeah.
Van der Ven and Romero, it's probably too early to go on either of them. We've got to give Van der Ven a shout for the possibility.
What? Jason Emmett, please stop pronouncing Udogie O'Dogie. What is it then? How do you pronounce
it?
Udogie. Teach me how you dogie.
Teach me how you dogie.
All right, I'll learn from now. Sorry, Jason. I'm sorry if that annoyed you.
Sorry. I'm sorry. You will be sorry. Van der Ven, the pace of the guy and, what he's got in the locker, the future's bright for that guy.
Oh, mate, yeah. Problem with the hamstrings, Madge. How many is he pinged?
That's what happens with fast players like that. It happens a lot.
You know what I mean? There is a problem there.
Where's Callum Davenport? Didn't he go to West Ham?
Yeah. Didn't he get shot or stabbed? He got stabbed, didn't he?
What?
Got stabbed, Callum Davenport.
Wow, what?
When he was at West Ham or something. When he was, I know he had it. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know if someone would put that in the comments. Like, it's gone a little bit gory, this one.
Yeah, it's gone a bit left.
Yeah. But yeah, Callum Davenport, remember another player that come in. You know what I mean? Big expectations, just didn't really work out. Van der Ven, though, Madge, we've said it. We've had many conversation. Is he, attribute-wise, he could be better than all of them.
Yeah.
Got a bit of everything.
Absolutely.
But the hamstrings are a problem.
A great name here, and I was going to mention him, Dean Richards. He could have been amazing for us. R.I.P. Dean Richards. What a guy.
Yeah. R.I.P. Riccardi Rocha. Rocco, whatever you pronounce it. I'm a bit wary now about how I do my pronunciations. I might get pulled up again by Jason.
I do it all the time on TalkSport. Pards does it all. I have to tell Pards all the time that, like, Madueke that plays for Chelsea.
Yeah, he could play.
He calls him like Maduki.
Is
that Maduki? I'm like, no, Madueke. Richard says Calderwood. No, Calderwood's never up there.
Romero, the one on the end there, Madge. Like, big fan of him. Like, love the guy. I really, really do.
Argentinian World Cup winner.
Yeah. International scene. He's won something none of the rest have in that little mob there.
So we've got King. So that's in. We definitely know we got Ledley King. So we just need to decide on the other one, guys. It's got to be out of Jan or Tope.
For me, it's Jan Vertonghen.
Nice.
Yeah, the reason why I go with Jan Vertonghen in there is because, again, balance.
The balance.
I'm looking at it. We have got a lovely back four of Walker.
Ledley
King. By the way, you can flip that as well. Ledley King was more than comfortable on his left-hand side. Yeah. More than comfortable. So you can make an argument for that. But King, Vertonghen, Danny Rose, that completes our back four.
Simon's right. Gallas was a brilliant free transfer. Woodgate as well would be in the group below these guys.
Definitely.
But again, with Gallas and Woodgate, they just came to us a bit late.
Yeah.
And I don't think we got enough service out of them. The service we got out of the Tongan and King, absolutely fantastic. And great shouts for everyone in the comments as well. There we go, as you can see so far. Great job, Louis. Hugo Lloris, Carl Walker, Ledley King, the Tongan, and Danny Rose. Where are we going next, Luke? We're going to go to the left-hand side of the midfield now. Wow.
Well, I'll straight away you've had a disaster there because David Ginola should probably be the first one in.
Yeah.
Steve Malbrank. Steve Malbrank. I tell you what you can do with Steve Malbrank. Get yourself in the bin, lad. That's what you do with Steve Malbrank.
Right, listen, yeah.
Gotta go.
Has that not...
I'm serving up. Like, we've had 2 weeks for every position.
But it's got everyone talking, isn't it?
Yeah. Is that what your little out? Yeah, we give you the out.
I've worked on TalkSport enough
you know
to
what?
know,
We'll
mate.
give you the out there, son.
I know on TalkSport.
Do you know what? You want the reaction, don't you? Where's David?
Yeah,
where's David?
David Ginola. Let's see, everyone's Steve Malbrank is up there. Call off the pod, no Ginola, absolutely. Let's start with David, even though he's not up there. David Ginola was just sexy football, wasn't he?
No, Andy Sinton? Did you have a little go at the hand?
When he sent him in?
No, I thought he was left wing when he sent him. Done a little bit.
People can't believe.
David Ginola, by the way, like, he's not going to make my team or our team, right? But I tell you, he's very, very close.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute showman. Probably one of the nicest looking men to ever play in the Premier League. And I'm more than comfortable with my sexuality. But I tell you what a player.
Yeah.
Capable of just doing it, conjuring up a bit of magic out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The goal that stands out the most to me was the one against Barnsley in the FA Cup.
Absolutely.
Absolute drab team that we had out there down that night. A drab Tottenham team. And that little silky run in and just put it under the goal. And
he's so old school, he had a vest on.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
He had a vest on, didn't he?
He was just...
Didn't he saw an absolute...
Some of the bangers he got, mate. I watched... You know when you watch that bit with Gary Neville? When they have the players sitting down with him? He was on there. Icons, like, you know what I mean?
Who David was?
David was on, mate. And he had a lot of top goals that he was playing for thing. And it was funny because they showed all the clips that Gary Neville used to just kick him in.
Yeah.
And it was funny. And they was having a little wind-up. But he was an unbelievable player, David Ginola. But no doubt a luxury run. Because, you know, when you talk about wingers going backwards, are they capable for you? He ain't going to be doing that shift for you, mate.
He really wasn't, was he?
Be a top player.
Oh, mate, yeah. Do you know what? The David one's brilliant. I'm glad everyone has gone. Second to son, my first hero. Reason to watch Spurs as a kid in the late 90s. My mum fancied Ginola. Whose mum didn't fancy Ginola? We fancied Ginola still.
We do, yeah. He looks unbelievable.
I just want to go to the Worthington.
Steve Malbrank. Look, you've put Steve Malbrank up there, so I've got to give him a little mention. Again, a player, produced some good moments for Spurs fans. Like, you know what I mean? Nicked an assist, scored a goal, low trajectory, sort of got in and out, left-hand side, come from Fulham, didn't he? Look, I've seen worse players play for Tottenham, that's for sure. Is he? You look at the modern day that we got there, is he better than Werner? Malbrank? Is he better than Solomon? Manor Solomon? Sort of similar to a little bit to Solomon or not?
Yeah.
Similar sort of mould of player? I sort of think so.
Better than
yeah, but I would say he's better than
but
Solomon.
You're right. David played 90 minutes of the cup final. And Andy Sinton came on for him.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side.
Andy Sinton on that left-hand side, mate. Yeah.
Then we got to talk about, it's Bale and Son, isn't it, really?
Bale and Son show. Look, again, like modern day I'm going to be looking at. Normally, back in the day, is you'd have your natural right-footed players playing on the right-hand side and left-footers playing on the left. We're going to switch it up no match. I'm going to go the other way. So, Heung-min Son off that left-hand side for me. Plays there now. Not quite in the same area because obviously they play a different formation. But I think he could be more than capable playing on that left-hand side of a 4 for me.
Yeah.
You agreed?
What, no Bell?
No, but Bale goes on the right side.
That's
on a different position. Gareth Bale on the right for me. Heung-min Son on the left is what I'm looking at. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm looking at that. You know, when you're looking across the pitch and you just go, let's have a little switch up between the two. How good would that be?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Bell could cut inside
Of
beautifully,
course he
couldn't
could, mate. You saw the goal. Remember the goals that he used to get, the last one at the last day of the season against Sunderland? Do you remember
I was
that
watching
one?
all the goals of that season.
You know that one, like the last one.
It was special. It
And
was
you know
special.
what? Look, you've mentioned the two players there, so if you don't mind, I'm gonna like.
What about if I did mind?
Sorry.
What about if I did mind?
What?
I don't know.
All right. Well, look, I'm looking at Heung-min Son consistency match. I've got to pull these numbers up today. I'll get on to Gareth Bale after when we talk about the right hand side position, but. 2015-16 season, he sort of had a few games, 28 games, just 4 goals, 1 assist, hit the ground running in the 2016-17 season, didn't he? Look at these numbers. You're talking about consistent numbers, mate. If you don't mind, 34 games, 2016, 34 games, 14 goals, 6 assists. Year after, 37 games, 12 goals, 6 assists. Year after, 31 games, 12 goals, 6 assists. Year after, 30 games, 11 goals, 10 assists. Year after, 37 games, 17 goals, 10 assists. Year after, 35 games, 23 goals, 7 assists.
Golden Boot winner.
Year after, 36 games, 10 goals, 6 assists. Then year after, 35 games, 17 goals, 10 assists. This season so far, 8 games, 3 goals, 3 assists. Mate, them numbers consistently are unreal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't make an argument for anyone else to play in that position.
So Sonny's going left.
Son, Heung-min Son on the left.
Go Sonny on the left then. So that is giving us our left side of midfield. Now we're going to go to the right side. Townsend in there.
Andros. Again, a player.
And with big promise.
Talked about players in playing in little spells. He had one, didn't he? Got himself in the England fold. Scored a blinder for England on his debut, I think. Everyone's saying this guy is the future.
And you know what? My Vancouver Spurs in the house. How you doing, Vancouver Spurs?
Shout out to Vancouver Spurs.
I'll tell you what. No Darren Anderton on this bit, I don't think. I think I moved him to like the central midfield.
Yeah, Darren Anderton. Again, you've had a shocker there.
No, but I've moved into the central midfield because
Fair
he did
enough.
both. He did both, didn't
Yeah,
he?
you could make an argument.
He
for
did
that.
both, and I was like, okay. But I should have put him on this one to have the
Madge
argument.
has done it all tactically to get a reaction from our listeners. So I'll give it out.
You know it. But for me, there's only 2 candidates actually for this role. But now because we're going to do inverted wingers, it has to be Gareth. But we've got to talk about. Look, Simon said, seriously, Madge, you're on a wind up. You know, Lennon and Darren Anderton were probably the 2 that I would discuss on the right hand side before we put Bell there. Aaron Lennon, we always talk about the seats, right? He was just so good, wasn't he?
Do you know what, mate? Because we're having to pick a team, it's difficult because he's coming up against people in his position. There's 1 or 2 or 3 in the thing, but I'm telling you, mate, top 10 players. He's in my top 10 favourite players. Loved him.
Yeah,
loved everything that he was about.
I love how everyone's going Townsend. You see, I've thrown in Aulia. What did you notice in the back? You've had a Campbell. Yeah, see that Campbell. You've had a Campbell. Yeah, right back. You've had no Stephen Carr.
You've had a Steve Malbranck.
You've had a Steve Malbranck. You've had an Andros Townsend. You see what I'm doing?
It's all part of the show.
It's all part of the show.
All part of the show. But yeah,
and no, never Townsend over Anderson ever.
But Madge, Aaron Lennon, yeah. Do you know what I just said about him? One of my favourite players. And do you know what else was so great is when we met him at a charity game. Yeah, there he is. Where is he? There he is. Aaron Lennon. There he is.
Lovely fella.
Yeah, there you are. What a person! What a guy! Looks exactly the same now as what he did in the first.
Fast as he is,
you know,
well.
fast and the first day he joined. Lovely guy, mate, and a real fan favourite, mate.
Yeah.
Love the guy, really, really do. He, again, talking about players that come in from Leeds, 18-year-old for just £1 million. Look at the return Tottenham got out of him.
Unbelievable.
Brilliant player.
So we will go with Gareth Bell.
Yeah.
Just that.
There's a question that goes around, and who's your best ever player that you've seen at Spurs?
Gareth Bell.
And I love Harry Kane. You know I do. Come on. I've got the pyjamas, I've got the kit, I've got everything. But Gareth Bale, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, I have never seen the 2012-13 season.
Yeah.
There is never going to be a season that I've seen
A player.
Pull
stuff out the bag.
Yeah, it won't ever be repeated.
No,
it won't be repeated. It won't be repeated at Spurs. And our struggle in the Premier League, I would like to see the top clubs, you go back in history, who made an impact, especially considering that the team that he was at, Tottenham as well, like I looked at 21 goals in 33 appearances that season, Madge. Like, also, so underrated at the time was his return in 2020 and COVID.
Oh, mate.
11 goals in 20 games in the Premier League.
In the Premier League.
Come on.
He had a better return that season than Antonio, Sterling. There was a load of names that I looked at before. I think he had more goals than Mane that season.
Best goal that you've seen Bale score, Madge? Because there's a load.
There is a load.
Stoke away. Again, Lennon involved, the cross and the volley.
Yeah.
Unbelievable goal. West Ham away.
West Ham goal was good.
Sunderland last day of the season.
Tricky says Paul Gascoigne in his prime is the best player ever to wear a Spurs shirt, in my opinion. We always say it. We didn't get to see Gazza.
And he didn't play in the Premier League era.
Yeah.
This is a Premier League era team.
Yeah. Just to reiterate.
Yeah,
but best goal, Bell at Spurs. Goal against Norwich was pretty good. When he runs from his own half.
Oh, mate. He scored a great goal against Norwich away at Carrow Road.
The West Ham one, because he gets injured, argues with the ref, gets the ball back, goes,
last minute as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's limbs. So, yeah, it's got to be that. So, Gareth Bale is our right wing player, not right wing politician. So, we got Gareth on the right, Sonny's on the left.
Key area of the football pitch. Coming up next, central midfield.
Central midfield. Now, we've got a good few names here.
Oh, you've put Maddison in there, yeah?
Just to see.
A little bit of Ramataz.
Now, I didn't know where to put Van der Vaart.
Difficult because of the way we're trying to set the team up. Yeah, it is.
So, because really and truly, Maddison and Van der Vaart are 10s, aren't they?
Yeah. Again, that's a prime example that if you want to select a team and go, we'll have Van der Vaart left wing, like, no, realistically, he ain't going to do a shift for you out there.
No.
Or central midfield.
No.
So what I'm saying, we're trying to do this with all of the players. If you're selecting a team on a weekend coming up, you know what I mean. So we've got that in mind. I think you got the three Dembele, Modric, Parker. They're really in the running, mate.
Yeah. Well,
really
as I say, Darren Anderton. He played right wing for a bit. Then he went inside for a bit as well.
Capable.
Great player. I just you look at what look at the chat. Every single person, easy. Dembele and Modric. Before we go and lock that in, I remember Luka Modric talking about Scott Parker.
Bit disappointed that not enough few people talking about Achimovic in this conversation.
You would have had him in.
Musa Saib.
Bentalab.
Come on.
Lewis Holtby.
Disappointed. Yeah.
Tom Carroll.
Oh.
Ryan Mason.
Keep them going.
Loads of them.
You can keep
there
them
are
going.
Loads of them. Ollie Skip, Harry Winks.
Yeah. Winksy coming back to us, they reckon, today.
Oh, don't.
Doing the rounds. Doing the rounds, mate. Doing the rounds.
Bad source, though.
Yeah, it's
Spanish media. Loved Anderton and Van der Vaart.
Question for you, little one, just a quickly. It's funny, we're talking about central midfield players. It's a question. Spurs have got Man City at the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you selecting, Archie Gray or Winks?
Good question.
Good question, isn't it?
Archie Gray.
No, this is just throwing that one out there. Don't take everything into it. Don't look into the comment too much. We got Man City on Saturday. You got a squad. Harry Winks is in it. Archie Gray's in it. At the way that they're performing now, who are you picking? Let the people in the comments answer that one.
Where is Stephen Dam at?
Stephen Dam. I'll tell you what. He's a player that done a bit. In moments. He did, didn't he? He come on, you think, this geezer's a player.
I know.
He done a little run and smashed one, and you think, this guy's a player.
Tell you what, right? It's a shame he wasn't with us longer because Michael Carrick would be in this conversation.
Yeah. Definitely. Carrick's in the conversation.
Edgar Davids?
Nah, you know, he come a bit too late. Remember a goal he got against Wigan away in the yellow kit, the Stella Yellow. Stella Yellow. But
I think, listen, there's no point messing around with this. Everybody knows who they want here.
Balance again's key. Modric right-footed, Dembele left-footed. It's a tremendous central midfield.
Zakora was really good, but not on the list.
He was
Scott
good
Parker
at shooting,
was a player you didn't realise how good he was.
One of Zagora's strengths was shooting. If he got it around the box, I would bank on him any time to hit Rose Ed.
Another friend of the show that I should have put in instead of Maddison is Sandro.
Yeah. Mate, it's a lot. That's what I mean. Do you know what? It's funny because Anthony Costa messaged me today. Obviously, after I announced that we were doing this, and he goes, "You'll be there all night." And you can, because there's so many people that you remember and think of when you're going through it.
Tricky said Jose mugged Bell right off when he came back. Wouldn't have got away with it for long if it wasn't for the fans in the middle of... I agree with that. And you know what? I was so gutted I didn't get to see him play. I think
Freund.
I think only 2,000 fans got to see us one game, didn't they? Like when it the North London derby.
Do you know what, mate? And do you know
Liam
what?
go?
Yeah. Do you know what was sad as well? That the combination Son, Kane, Bale. How much you paying to just see it?
And a few games it worked really nice. Crystal Palace, Burnley, like 4 goals, and they was all combining. Watch that again sometimes. Again, because it was COVID and you couldn't feel it. Trust me, Son, Kane and Bell was unreal.
Son, Kane, Bell. It's a dream.
It is a dream.
It's a dream.
It was a dream.
It's a dream, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? So disappointed. Do you know what? I might even go back and rerun the best clips of that because
have a look at it because I said it at the time, and I don't think you argued too much with me on the podcast. I think it was more some of the fans.
Go on.
That I was like, this geezer has had a great season, mate. He
scored,
yeah,
definitely.
He scored 14 goals.
On it.
He scored 14 goals. What's
How
the name?
about that little goal in the Conference League? He got the little check back. Oh,
different class.
Yeah, I mean different. Goal.
What's the name of the game here? Best ever Spurs Premier League team. Well, yeah. To be fair, we should have put up a little clip, a little thing to say what we're doing. It is if you just joined us, it is the the Spurs all-time Premier League 11. Listen, Moussa Dembele. Now, Gaz, are you going to be honest or not?
Yeah, I must.
You're going to be honest.
I'll talk about.
I like it. Let's be honest. Come on, let's.
I'm not one of them.
Let's share.
I haven't like.
Let's share with our.
Moussa
fans.
Dembele is a player that I thought, and I'm gonna say it, I thought that he was a little bit overrated at time when I was a thing.
At the time.
At the time, I really do. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Not even at the time. Just after, maybe when he left as well.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'm going through the process. When he was playing for Spurs, I used to think, what's all the fuss about? I'm happy to say that I will because you know what I mean. You get some right, you get some wrong. That was one that I got wrong. I do think that he'd be even more appreciated now in the modern day with the way that he plays and how the game's moved on and how he is as a central midfield player. Because I think there ain't a price with his attributes that you could put on that man. I really do mean that.
There's a lot of backlash.
Yeah, look, mate.
Gaz, have you been smoking spice?
You look, mate. You know what I mean.
Listen, we all get it wrong. Some of us have Steve Malbronk and Andros Townsend in the all-time 11. I'll tell you what, right? With Moussa, you listen to his peers and how his peers talk about him being one of the best ever. You can't get the ball off of him. You know, Kevin De Bruyne talking about him. Players of that caliber talking about you. You know, there's something special there. What it is with you and Moussa, and I remember at the time talking to you about it, was I think you felt for a midfield player his return wasn't enough in terms of goals, you know, outside the box, and you know, comparing him to like a Yaya Toure.
Well,
example.
I think he was playing in a time, obviously, where Gerrard and Lampard and that were about like goal scoring midfielders that were notching. So, but at the end of the day, you got to understand people's jobs in teams. And
realise that he had Dele and Harry and Christian Eriksen around
other
him.
people in there. So and you do, as I said, more appreciated now when you look back because Tottenham haven't replaced him, and I don't think they're going to.
No, he was special. And then you think of the job that he did, holding onto the ball, you know, changing the play, the transitional play that he did was just unbelievable. And can you imagine if you put Luka Modric next to him?
Brilliant, yeah.
Luka was. We saw a glimpse of what Luka was going to become at Spurs. But we didn't see what Luka became. Right?
Great goal again. One that strikes out for me. Goal against Bolton.
The Bolton one,
Bolton away. Great goal.
The Bolton one.
Really, really top player. Scott Parker as well coming at a good time for Spurs. Left West Ham to come to us, didn't he? Surprise move. Come in and done a really good job.
But that's why I said he's in with a shout there because what he did was he allowed Modric to play. Yeah. Because Scott Parker would do the hard yards in the middle and like get stuck in, and then Modric was able to move forward. It was, as Simon said, what might have been if he wasn't sold 6 months before the Champions League final. It was a boo-boo from Spurs. Kieran Trippier's already come out.
Again, you've got to be a little bit consistent. You're looking back on it in hindsight. Moussa Dembele's performance levels and injury problems, were a problem at that time. They were, and everyone was saying that he's done. He's injury prone. You can't rely on him. So hypothetically, you can look back on it and say that we should have kept him. We didn't, and that was it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. To be fair, and like you said, hindsight is a wonderful thing. But I think we're going to go Modric and Dembele. Now, let's see how that completes an incredible midfield. Bale, Dembele, Modric and Son.
It's unbelievable, mate.
When you look
It's elite.
at Spurs, right, it's why you have to look at the Pochettino Spurs squad, right? Because Lloris, Walker, Vertonghen, Rose, Son, those and Dembele. 6 out of these players, 6 out of the 9 players there were Poch's players. Now,
Big shout.
and in fairness,
Also, we've got in the running for that chat for the central midfield area, and I have to mention him because, to be honest, he's in the top 10 that I've seen as well. Dele Alli.
oh yeah,
And, like, you can't forget him because, again, a guy that peaked early, had about 4 or 5 years at Tottenham at a high level, mate. Goals, Arsenal, goals against Arsenal, goal against Palace, goal against Chelsea. Top stuff, like, just unbelievable.
yeah. And again, because we're doing 4-4-2,
Of course.
it's very difficult. Like
10.
you said, he's a 10.
Christian Eriksen,
Yeah,
another player.
didn't even get a mention.
You know what I mean? Christian Eriksen. Well, he has. We're mentioning him now.
Yeah, but I'm saying in terms of like,
It's never too late. Do you know what I mean? And these are and do you know what makes you laugh? No one mentioned it in the comments
I know.
about them. So it just shows you when you get caught up in it, there's so many players that have come through that come
Rule
to
Fox.
mind. Yeah,
Where's Rule
just
Fox?
bring to mind. Yeah.
I love that people have got. Simon said Madger's going to have Postiga, Armstrong, and Raziak in his top 3 strikers. No, Ronnie Rosenthal, mate, and Gary Doherty. Right, we're going to look for the strikers now. Like, look at that list.
Unbelievable.
Look at what we've had at this football club.
Out of order you've
Right,
left.
let's go through that. Yeah,
Is there room to put Andy Booth up there?
maybe. It's just read those names out, guys.
Emilio Gaskin, I mentioned Delhi. Sorry, mate. I'm not looking at everything, but if you did, my apologies.
In
Them
fairness,
names-
Emilio mentioned Delhi, but he did mention him later on.
All right, do better, Emilio. Harry Kane, Robbie Keane, Jermaine Defoe, Dimitar Berbatov, Jurgen Klinsmann, Teddy Sheringham. Anyone else that could gate crash that?
It's crazy.
Do you know, done a little bit for Spurs as well, and I quite liked him in this period. Canute.
Yeah, well, we were talking about this.
Yeah,
earlier
we
on.
was. Canute done a little bit. He was capable.
He went to Seville, didn't he? After
Yeah,
us?
he was good. No, technically very, very good. I've got my 2 there, mate. I've got my 2 favourites of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to go through? You're looking at the early part, Teddy Sheringham again, him and Klinsmann. Game that strikes out to me straight away. Liverpool, quarter-final of the FA Cup, away at Anfield, both on the sheet. Sheringham slips in Jurgen for the first goal. Sheringham gets the winner, I think. Fantastic, them two. Elite footballers. You know what I mean? You look at what Teddy went on to do at Manchester United, come back for the second spell at Spurs. Just an all-round top player, mate. You're talking about people like with a lot of nous upstairs, mate. He was the A-star, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? He had a yard upstairs, match.
AK 1000 Spurs, we're doing Premier League all-time 11, so that's why there's no Lineker today, mate.
Peter Crouch, good shout.
Peter
Yep.
Crouch, good shout.
The goal where he gets us into the Champions League.
huge
Iconic moment. First time ever in the Champions League, he gets the goal to get you there.
Someone said, people are saying, big up to Emilio. Right. People are talking about Crouch. Crouch ain't better than any of those up there. No way. I don't think.
Klinsmann was Premier League.
I don't think.
He was Premier League, yeah.
I don't think. Where was he? 94, 95? No.
Yeah, he was Premier League, yeah.
But look at that. Kane, Defoe, Berbatov, Klinsmann, Sheringham.
Unbelievable set of strikers, that.
It is ridiculous, to be fair. You look at that. And you go through them, guys.
Let's get on. Who do you want to talk about first? Can I get on to Robbie Keane?
Yes.
Look at Robbie Keane there. Like, do you know what I mean? Again, a player that we saw at the recent charity game match. How good was he?
He was unreal.
He looks like he was like he could have played still.
In fairness to Crouchy, to give him his dues, yeah, it's like he is in the Premier League 100 club. So maybe we should try to squeeze him in. But
I think he done all right. He'd been at a lot of football clubs, a lot, like Villa, Stoke, Liverpool, QPR, you know what I mean, Spurs, like probably missed a couple out there. Robbie Keane, do you know what I mean? He left again, though. But he saw the lights, didn't he? The big move, Liverpool, left, struggled there, and we had him back, and he struck up a great partnership with Berbatov when he come back, didn't he?
No, before he went.
Is it before he went?
Yeah, it was Keane and Berbatov were incredible together with Martin Yeo. Martin Yeo, you got Kino, Berbatov,
Yeah, you're right.
Then that summer, we sold Keane and Berbatov when Wande Ramos comes in.
Wow.
And you're like, what's going on?
Robbie Keane was brilliant, mate. Goal against Wigan at home. Is it Wigan at home? And he takes the little throw on.
Yeah.
And so many great goals, mate. He had a good second spell. He had 2 good spells at Spurs as well.
Yeah, Defoe
You know
definitely had 2 good. Whereas I think Robbie, when he came back from Liverpool, it was never the same player.
I thought he still done all right in the second spell.
A
though,
little
mate.
bit.
Done enough. Still got to return. But again, you start looking at him at that point and questioning him, going, is that him? You know what I mean? Is he on the decline? Jermaine Defoe is he's one of my favourite players. Like, he's up there, top 3, 4. Like, I absolutely adore the guy. Went off, let him go, didn't we? And then realised how much we missed him and how much he was smashing it and needed him back on the second time. You know what I mean? Just made that call so early and so wrong.
I know, we got it
And
right.
got it, but thankfully, he came back to us.
Well, when we had Robbie, we had him from 2002 to 2008, 197 appearances, 80 goals,
Yeah.
Then he went to Liverpool, scored 5 in 19. It was really strange. Still not a bad return. It just didn't work out for him. And he came back to us, didn't he?
That's right.
In the January. Harry Redknapp's like, I'm getting the band back together. Comes back into us, 41 appearances, only 11 goals.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not a good return, 1 in 4. Don't know what his assist was, but as we touched on.
Bearing in mind, in that period of time, 2009 to 2011, he went to Celtic on loan, scored 12 goals in 16 games, West Ham on loan, and then he eventually moved to LA Galaxy.
Great player, very capable, like just so skillful.
Now, see, like Page Dog said, Defoe wasn't the sharpest centre forward in the 18-yard box in the Premier League history, in my opinion.
Agreed.
But my problem with Jermaine was he was very...
got caught offside a lot.
He was very inconsistent. Like, it didn't happen week in, week out, did it? I would like to see, again, maybe, you know...
I thought he was brilliant at someone who had the capability to shift half a yard and generate so much power with so much, like, hardly any backlift.
Yeah.
And he used to just detonate, mate, and it used to just end up in all parts of the goal. So quick. So
interesting. Look, 4 out of those 6 had 2 spells at Tottenham.
Yeah.
Sheringham, Klinsmann, Defoe and Keane.
Yeah.
Is Kane going to add to that list?
I don't
Would
know.
he come
I
back?
think the game, that's like, you know, I don't know where I would fit in at the way we're playing at the minute.
Up top.
No, yeah, but look, under this manager, the way that he wants to play,
So we are, mate.
you've got a manager that's just got a fast press, mate. You know me, Harry Kane play anywhere if I was in charge.
Go.
But you're looking at the manager at the minute.
So listen, we know we're going to put Harry Kane in. Harry Kane is banker. He's in. So we just need to make the second one.
Berbatov.
Well,
You got to mention him, mate, because again, talk about big moments. They always just spring to mind straight away.
Carling Cup.
Goal at Middlesbrough.
But I'm talking Carling Cup
Yeah,
final.
Carling Cup final.
Penalty.
Who scores penalties like that in finals, mate?
I know, just nonchalant.
Do you know what I mean? Especially with the pressure of Spurs and like sort of the lack of trophies and all of that type of thing that goes around it. In front of all our fans, wasn't it? Lovely little reel away there. Brilliant moment.
So somebody, no Les, again, Page Dog, it's a shame because, again, Les is part of the 100 Club as well. We've had some decent strikers at Spurs.
Ferdinand, I just think we got him he had his best days at Newcastle.
I think so. Keep right on Newcastle.
Yeah, he done well at Newcastle.
He still did really
Still
good
done
for
a
us.
decent return at Spurs, but
Um,
you know what? He's a big Spurs fan, I believe, as well.
I love Les. So Les is
Yeah, definitely.
This is the
Proper
problem.
bloke.
This is the problem with these things. It's like you can't. It's so hard to choose, but we're going to
Rebrov.
have to. Rebrov, yeah.
Adebayor.
Adebayo. Wow,
He
lots of
provided
shots.
me with a lot of good moments. Him and Tim Sherwood, they loved it, didn't they? The little salute.
Yeah.
Got it going a little bit, didn't he, Tim? Yeah, he did.
Okay, so we're going to say Kane. Kane's a banker. And someone said about, what do you call it? Oh, Berber was awesome, but I don't pick him for snaking us. I'm sorry.
Shout there, like from lads. It was Klinsmann and Kane. Don't forget, Klinsmann saved us from relegation, 97.
Yeah,
98.
do you know what? That shouldn't be overlooked.
But you know his second spell at Spurs weren't all that, mate.
No.
Jurgen, he struggled. But you know what? He struggled, but delivered when mattered on that last day of the season at Selhurst Park. What did he get? 4 goals.
Yeah.
I remember watching that in my nan's, but he didn't really have the best of second spells. But the first spell was unreal.
I'm going to have to do it because in terms of what I've seen live, what I saw Dimitar Berbatov do, him next to Harry Kane, because they can both play
Is
football.
that fit? Is that a fit match? For me, I'm going Kane and Defoe.
We're going to go Kane and JD?
Only because I'm such a fan of both. So it's only because I'm a fan of both. And I just sort of see Harry Kane dropping into little holes, Jermaine Defoe on the fringes, and just like causing so much destruction.
I'm going to overrule you.
Fair enough.
I'm going to go Burbs.
Yeah, fair.
Just again, look at that, right? Son and Bell, either side of Kane and Berbatov. Those two being able to play either of those in. And Modric coming.
Do you know what as well? You could look at that too. Berbatov loved playing with Keane.
Yeah.
He loved playing with ballers, like natural ballers, like whereas like, and I think he would have loved playing with probably Harry Kane. I do think though a lot of them would probably they'd both take up similar spaces.
No pace with Kane and Berber.
Yeah, I do think they'd take up similar spaces.
No, I'm going to go with the fact that you've got Bale and Son.
Again, Simon's there, like saying Defoe's better than Berbatov. I haven't said that Jermaine Defoe's better than Berbatov once. What I said was, in a combination up front, what's best, what's more suited. I think that Kane and Defoe would work better as a combination. Haven't at any point said Jermaine Defoe's better than Berbatov.
Simon said, we still wouldn't win the league with that team, guys. It's so true. I just think in terms of when you're playing with a Modric and Dembele, can we get that 11 up? We've got it, yeah. Mate, Berbatov and Kane. That is just juicy.
Yeah, it's
I don't care about him snaking us from Man United. I'm over it. I wasn't at the time. But,
it's an unbelievable team. Look, mate, you can't look, mate, by the way, anyone
But this is why we did
any
this
one of them
podcast.
Strikers, by the way, you could make an argument Sheringham and Klinsmann up front.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You can make Robbie Keane. If Robbie Keane looked at it, why not in that team?
Absolutely.
So, like, big, strong arguments. But I think if you're talking about stature, again, we're talking about people who delivered in seasons. We've spoken about Bale. Berbatov had one, didn't he, mate? He was unbelievable. How about that goal at Charlton? Destroyed him.
Bullied him.
Yeah? And then just like the finish, opened the body at the Valley, wasn't it? And round and got so good, mate.
Now, here we go. Paige, Emilio, everyone's asking, who's the gaffer? Who is the manager? Now, 3 names come to mind here. Ironically, none of them won anything with us.
I bet I've already left out Christian Gross on the list, but yeah.
I put Martin. I didn't put Martin in there, and I love Martin. I put Jose over for Martin.
You got with a Portuguese stripper?
I went with a Portuguese stripper, just because I'm thinking about that manager with that particular team,
with that group.
Yeah.
I'm going to just cut to the chase. For me, it's the man in the middle, Harry Redknapp. That's my manager out of that 3.
Not Poch.
Nah, because Poch would have been it, but he went to Chelsea.
That hurt you?
That hurt me a lot. And do you know what? I was delighted when he got the chop. Because you chose to go to Chelsea.
Yeah, but we didn't choose him. We chose Big Ange over him.
You can make these
He wanted to come home, mate.
You can make all these arguments. As I said, you're not right or wrong in anything.
No, but what I'm saying is...
I'm just saying, what it was the feeling it done to me. I remember the battle at the bridge. Big moment for me as a fan. Tottenham were tops then. We were a top side. And we went to the battle of the bridge. And he went through that with that Spurs group. And for him to just be there managing a couple of years later with a tracksuit on representing Chelsea was a big problem for me.
But
I just struggled with it.
Do you know why it wasn't a problem for me? It's because he openly flirted with us, was like, come and get me. And we went, no thanks, we're going to go and get Big Ange from Celtic.
Yeah, look, mate, there's an argument for never go backwards in life. So, yeah, you could... Look, again, I'm just giving you how I felt at the time. People would go there and go, Pochettino done brilliant for Spurs. Didn't win anything. He hasn't won anything in his career. And that's why he's managing in the USA job now. So, yeah, I just thought that Harry Redknapp for me. I thought it was brilliant. Again, iconic time for Spurs fans. It steered us to our first Champions League finish. Big moment. And I think he's got the actual capabilities, the way he manages to get the best out of that group, Harry. So would probably Poch.
Interesting. Paige said Redknapp was the catalyst of what we've had over the last 10 years. Paige, though, I would actually argue that Martin Jol was the catalyst. I think if you look at Spurs and our trajectory, when Jacques Santini got sacked after 7-8 games, Frank Arneson left us, went to Chelsea, and Martin Jol stepped in to become the manager, we nearly got 4th place if it wasn't for Lasagna Gate. We did well. And he got us back into our first European tour for a long time. Really like Martin Yole. He should be up there for a little mention, but he's not.
Look, we'll marry it there. If we sacked Ange, I'd take Poch back tomorrow, and he will be the name. He will be the name that people throw around to come back, Pochettino.
I would have him all day.
It will be. Because that's what we do in football.
No, because...
That's what we do.
Yeah. You know what it is?
Again, though, do you know what, Will? Like, it's funny because how old are you? 22. That's your era. Poch, Maine. That's just when you were going Spurs. That's when he was like, everything was... So you're always going to have that rapport with a man. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure I had the rapport with Pochettino, but I had it with Harry as well, a little bit. Interesting debate, that one. I just didn't like when I saw him when he went to Chelsea. But as you said, Madge, can you really blame the guy?
No.
He wants a job in football.
And a top job as well.
Yeah, and he went to Chelsea. But, yeah, look, mate. Yeah, that was a tough one for me.
I'm going to go with you and say that Harry Redknapp, with his years of experience, his ability to handle players, the man management, how I'd love to see him go and, play the way he does, fearless. Winner, score more goals in there, we're terrific. You know what I mean? I think Harry Redknapp is the man for there, so I'm with you.
Yeah, I think some of the players in that team, I think as well, they would take to him and the way that he manages. You know what I mean? The arm round approach. Yeah.
No George Graham, even though he won us a cup. No one day Ramos.
Unbelievable. How Spurs he's at?
I know.
George Graham. You know what I mean? The Arsenal manager comes and wins a trophy for you.
It's very Spursy indeed. So that is how our Ultimate 11 look. You can see in the corner of the screen there. Redknapp is now our manager. Okay, we got the big picture to show them. There you go. That is not a bad 11. Well done, Louis, on the graphics. He's made it look like Sky Sports, hasn't he?
That's unbelievable, Jeff.
It's like Monday Night Football.
Look at the team, mate. It's an unbelievable.
Lloris, Walker, King, Vertonghen, Rose, Bell, Dembele, Modric, Son, Kane. But that wins the Champions League, in my opinion. Yeah, true. We are Spurs, so it might not happen. But that was our Premier League 11, which I enjoyed going through, guys.
Yeah, it's good. Look, mate, it's as we found out when you're going along, there's so many other players in the mixer. Some people sit here and make a completely different team, and we go, "Wow, what a team!" Yeah. But that's our team. I think we've always sort of stuck by it, sort of when we've done it, like, obviously to ourselves. We've always picked this similar sort of team.
Yeah.
So.
Let us know in the comments who you would choose for your 11, who the manager would be, your left back, your right back. Leave it in the comments. It's Madge, it's Gaz, it's the SOS. POD. That's right, it's Madge and Gaz, the Same Old Spurs podcast, enjoying tonight with our Premier League 11. Before we trundle off into the night, we will have a little quick talk about just some of the injuries and have a little preview of the Manchester City game. Yeah. Because somebody said, which mascot? Old Chirpy. Let's talk about the Man City game coming up, Gaz.
Well, look, you know what? I think it's an interesting game. Man City lost the last 4 games, Madge, as we know, in all competitions.
Scary for us, this is.
Tottenham, can they lose 5? Can it really happen under Pep? 5 games on a spin in all comps. Tottenham, we know we're inconsistent. 1-2, lost 2 out of our last 4. Bit early for the team news, Madge. Going to have to settle down off the back of the international break. You know what I mean? Ange did mention about Van der Ven, where he might be possible that he returns. Can't see it. Might just be a week or 2 early for him. The Romero one, gone away with Argentina, mate, and had a recurrence of that. Looks like the injury, that foot injury that he picked up against Aston Villa. That's a problem because I don't care. You don't want Dragusin and Ben Davies going up to the Etihad, mate.
Can I be controversial?
Go on.
At this moment in time, you might want Ben Davies.
Yeah, I'm on about Dragusin.
Yeah, I know drag, but I'm just saying, like...
For me, if everyone's fit, if they're all fit at the weekend, by the way, Romero, Dragusin and Davies, I'll go Romero and Ben Davies.
Yeah.
That's my centre-half pairing.
Mad, isn't it? Mad that we're saying that.
Yeah, I know, but that's where I'd be at the minute.
Yeah.
Not only that, just because it's a little bit of balance there.
The balance?
Look, a couple of men to watch, mate. Look, Erling Haaland, obviously, for Manchester City. 12 goals in 11 Premier League games so far, mate.
And they've not played well for four games.
But for Tottenham, Heung-min Son, a fixture he loves, Madge. A fixture he loves and a fixture he's done well in, Heung-min Son. Scored for both teams last year in a 3-1. He scored an own goal and scored. Yeah. Kulusevski at the death. 90th minute, 3-3 result. I'll take that result. Don't get beat at City. It's important that we sort of like go there, put in a performance. Give a good application, show a good shift for the fans, mate. It's important. What's your preferred lineup for that game? Because I'm going to be a little bit. Can I give you mine?
Go for it.
And there's going to be a couple of tweaks in here that like just might be a little bit different. So, Vicario, in goal. We spoke about Vicario today. Probably had come under a little bit of fire for his performance for Italy. I know you and Will were saying if you actually look at the goals, and he's been a little bit unlucky, but that's how the media works, don't they? When someone's down, they just sort of kick them out when they're down. So there's a little bit of that in there. I'll go with Vicario, Porro at right back. The options are going to be Dragoos and hopefully Romero's fat. If Romero's fit. If he is, I'd play Romero and Ben Davies, as I've said, centre half. A Dougie left back. 2 in midfield. We've seen about Bentancur, unfortunately. 7-game ban, Madge. Only applies domestically as well.
Yeah.
Can't even nick a couple in Europe like to knock it down.
But that means he's going to play in Europa.
He does, but misses a lot of big games, mate, that Bentancur one. Misses games against City in the league, City, Liverpool and Chelsea, and misses the Man United Carabao Cup clash. So, yeah, that's going to be tough. But for me, I'd go Basuma and Sarr central midfield.
I said this earlier on, didn't I?
Yeah.
I said that, the start of the season last year, they had a right little pairing.
Yeah.
And I think they just need to find that again because we've been quite inconsistent of who we started.
This is where it gets a little bit interesting for me, where I'm going to go with, because I'd bring James Maddison back into the fold.
Okay, interesting.
I'd bring James Maddison back into the fold, and I've been like, look, you only got to look at the shorts on YouTube and stuff, what we said about him last week. That it's been disappointing, is especially like his application when he come onto the pitch in the previous game. But is this a game that the manager might just go on then? You go and do a little bit against Man City. And do you know what? On the right-hand side, I'm going to put Kulu back out there.
Kulu back on the right.
For a game, yeah. I'm going to go Son on the left, and Solanke up the front, because I
like that.
I just think that four, and I know the reason why I've gone. I know Kulusevski's been playing really well in the role he's been playing with.
But I think you're right, because you can afford to get Maddison in. Then you've still got Kulu's ability on the right, and he's played there before against them.
He's had success
and
against.
And if it doesn't work, Brennan Johnson's an option to bring on, because
we've always said he's an impact player.
Agreed.
And Kulusevski has done a bit in that role against City.
He has, and he's strong.
And I just, in the teams named, and you're on that pitch, and you're almost looking at the opposition, how much respect they're going to give our players and show our players. And I just think, from my point of view, you look at that, Son on the left, Kulu's on the pitch, Maddison's on the pitch, Solanke's on the pitch, Basuma side, looks a strong team.
I agree. More physical as well.
So that's the team that I would like to see play at the weekend. Be interesting.
I think Brennan Johnson is an option to come on 60 minutes in, impact player, kind of similar how Timo is, but he's got a bit of a better end product. And again, you've got Timo there as an option as well to come on later on. Definitely.
Stretch the game, bit of pace, because what Man City will do is they'll keep playing, especially if they're in need of a goal. Do you know what I mean? So if they do, there'll be space for us to get in and catch him behind. So there's options there, mate, for Spurs. But I think Spurs have really got to turn up on Saturday. It's really, really important that from second one that they go about their business in the fashion required.
Absolutely agree with you. It's going to be interesting. I tell you what, we lose that game, Ange's under serious pressure.
Big time.
He's already under pressure, but I mean serious pressure, especially as the league fixtures pile up, and we're coming towards Christmas, the new year, new manager thing, and all that.
The fashion's important as well. It's the way that you lose.
Fashion, what?
You don't want to get, you don't want to get hammered in that game. You know what I mean? So that'd be interesting, mate, because I struggle to see Tottenham getting a win against Manchester City. I do think you never know, they can nick a draw.
A draw's a good result.
I do think it'd be. I just struggle to see Spurs winning at the weekend.
Well, we're going to be back next Monday night.
We are hopefully celebrating a positive outcome against City, which I'll take as a draw as well.
Jared reckons Ange's as safe as houses. I don't think he is. I love Simon. Ange needs time. Look what he done at the Wiltshire Zebras.
Yeah, we're not saying that. We've been consistent. We're not saying that. We've also talked about possibilities for to replace him. There's not really any that exist. But if you lose in a bad way against Manchester City, the pressure will mount. That looks like you, to be fair.
Same Spurs pod with Majestic Gazza. I like it. Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult. Is there anything wrong with going more direct to get in behind City's back line? Well,
Not at all, but it just ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen, is it?
Well, then
I'd love my goalkeeper now and then to mix it up. And this is a criticism that you have on Ange, is showing more sides to the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, why can't a goalkeeper just go long for once?
I know.
You know the goalie as well, he's up against it a minute. Take some pressure off him. We said Big Dom. He's got the name Big Dom. He's big lad.
I know. Get out to him.
Get it up to him sometime.
Old school Bosch. A la Bosch. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Sunday afternoon, 4:30, right?
5:30 Saturday.
Is it the Saturday one?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I thought it was Sunday.
5:30 Saturday game. Nice one. That can have a couple of beers.
Interesting. That's the rest out?
It's a Man City.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Got the links.
You get us in.
Yeah, get us in. Ask Grealish. Grealish to Spurs?
Look, mate, how could you say no?
Pogba to Spurs?
No.
Wouldn't take Pogba?
Attitude. Stinks.
How do you know?
Just got to look at every single thing that he's done. Ain't he been banned from football?
He's been reduced. It's been
I
reduced.
think that gives you a little bit of an indication of where he's at.
Page said, good research, Magic. Page, I'm trying to work out what day it is, let alone when we're playing.
I'll tell you what, our listeners there, I don't know what it is, whether they've all had a bad weekend, but they're quick to pull us up tonight. They're firing us.
No, they're loving it.
They've got the darts out.
They love spending our...
They've got the darts out.
They got the darts like, look, Littler. He's an unbelievable player, isn't he?
Yeah, mate.
Grealish is made to play for Spurs. I'd love Grealish to go, you know what, I've got loads of money in Gucci already. Let's go play for Spurs.
Where would he fit in? If he comes, Maddison would leave.
No, he'd love it, Maddison, him. If I'm Grealish, I'd go back to Villa, but they don't want him. They feel like, we moved on from you, and they have, to be fair. They've got better since he left, so... Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, guys. Don't forget, if you see any of the clips, please get involved, comment. Hey, you there, I'm looking at you, and you that is listening on the podcast with the audio. I know you've not done it already, because I look at the numbers you say, and I know exactly how many of you are listening and how many of you are subscribing, and only 20% of y'all are subscribing. Now, it doesn't cost you a thing to press a button. Press subscribe so you know when we're on doing the lives on YouTube and help us grow our community, guys.
I'll tell you what, you've nailed on with that accent's top draw, mate.
So please, just do it now. Look, just go press subscribe. And if you're listening, go onto YouTube, type the same old Spurs.
I think now a couple of them are still reading after that. We threw a couple of hand grenades in there with a Steve Malbranca Townsend.
Oh.
It's all for the show, mate. It's all for the show, lads.
I know, they love it.
It's all for the show.
But listen, serious.
Before Madge falls asleep.
Falls asleep, yeah.
You better wrap it up.
I was training hard today, mate.
Yeah,
big session.
No out for me. That doesn't mean that you fall asleep on our lovely face.
Can do. Yeah, please press subscribe. Thank you to Louis, who's worked very hard today to make this podcast.
And Will as well.
Amazing. We're going to be back next Monday for another podcast, and hopefully it's a positive one.
Yeah, mate.
And Gaz brings the coasters, and I find the duck.
If I don't bring the coasters, I will resign. I'll get the sack. I'll be replaced.
Gaz wants to go home again. Great pod, guys.
Page dog, he loves that one. At the end of every one, then Gaz is ready to go.
He is so ready to go.
I tell you what.
Not coming in his walking clothes again. Where's the 5K?
Sorry, mate.
Doing the rally calls. Let's go walking. It's in jeans. All right. Old Spurs pod. It's Majestic Gazza. Good night, Steve Malbranca.
The Same Old Spurs podcast with Majestic and Gazza.